Welcome to Sidewalk Talk. I'm Charisse Fortunato from Shovel the Sidewalk. We are a marketing firm in Buffalo, New York, and we work with small businesses and help them build their brands and create advertising. We're all about storytelling here, and that's how our podcast came about. And today's story comes from Amanda and Kiera at Ir9n. Hi, guys.
Hi, Grace.
How are you? How are you guys doing in this new normal, abnormal situation?
Yeah, this is definitely a new normal for us. Charisse, thank you so much for having us on, first of all. This whole situation is such a new normal for us, but Amanda and I are both very confident that we are given opportunities to make the most of, and so that's what we're doing, and we're actually super excited about what our future holds in terms of Ir9n, because we know that we're not alone in the feelings of uncertainty and how to move forward, and kind of that feeling of solidarity can help us to be stronger in moving forward and getting creative and still helping people.
Yeah, that's awesome. So tell me, you guys are just freshly a year old. Tell me Ir9n's philosophy. Fill it in for anyone who doesn't know. How did your business come about and you starting your own studio?
So Ir9n started as a dream about 5 years ago that we kind of talked about and never really thought that this would come to fruition so soon in our lives. But we were both working a lot for the time. And we wanted to spend more time with our kids and to take a step back and really go back to what we love to do, which is Pilates. And the opportunity came about us, and within a few days, we made a really exciting decision to start up, and we went from there. But, we are so grateful for the opportunities, and we really just believe that, God blesses or blocks it for us. And that's what we've always kind of run by. And yeah, so it's been a really great journey for us. But the beginning was by chance and by faith.
Awesome.
I'll let Kiera speak more on our philosophy.
Yeah. So Amanda and I both came from the nonprofit sector together. So we have had a professional relationship and friendship for years. So, we've known each other well and how each other operates, and we've always agreed that we work well together. Our philosophy, our mission is that health is so much more than just nutrition or just fitness. Health is social. Health is fitness and nutrition. Health is emotional and mental. And that's something that we feel so strongly about in terms of empowering people's health in a really well-rounded way. And so we have always wanted to take the nonprofit sort of ideas and apply them to our business, which is not a nonprofit. And so our mission is to build a community of strong women and men who are resilient and who are versatile and strong, healthy, and emotionally and spiritually. And we just feel so passionate about being able to lift one another up, whether that's coming from us or coming from people in our community. But we feel that if we can be strong in those different ways personally, then we're going to be able to build a stronger community and build a stronger world.
Awesome. So I have to laugh because you started this so you could have more time with your family. And now we have lots of time with our family. And I'm wondering, how are you guys balancing running a business where the doors are closed and also having to be a stay-at-home teacher?
Yeah, so I feel like this is going to speak to our personalities very well, where I am a very structured person, and I'm like, okay, I need this, and this. And Kiera loves having multiple things go on and really thrives in that environment. So it's so fun. It's scary. It's scary when you have to make that decision to close your business and know that zero income is coming in. I mean, and I know we're not alone in this. and my saving grace has been my business partner, because we're going through this together and we have each other. And when I want to move really fast on things, she says, okay, well, let's go a little bit slower. Let's do this. And when she wants to move fast on things, I said, okay, well, let's think about this. So we balance each other really out well that way. So, we took, our first instinct is, what are we going to do for our people? Because that to us is the number one. How are we going to keep them going? If we're feeling like this, our people are feeling like this. And, we know that some of our people come for the social aspect. So that was our number one priority, was getting it out there. Kiera worked super fast, super hard to get a Facebook group out there, just to keep our community feeling the movement going for everybody, and just a place where they don't have to read the news. They just come in here, they come into the group, and it's uplifting and it's always encouraging. So that has really been the biggest help for our business. And, managing everything, it's a day-to-day basis. For me, it's, trying to find a little bit of structure. And I needed a quiet space. So I finally found that quiet space. And now that I have it, I think I can breathe. But, Kiera operates so much differently than I, so I'll let her speak to the way she does it. But it's really almost been a blessing in many ways.
Yeah, we've always known, it's just hilarious how different we are. And as Amanda said, she thrives in structure, and I kind of operate well with more chaos. And it kind of helps me think a little bit more, think a little clearer, But in this time, also, without the hustle and bustle, I'm really able to feel like I can manage a lot because I don't have to go anywhere. So I absolutely love it. I'm so grateful that we can have a business, that we're in a day and age that an isolation is not as horrible as it would have been 100 years ago. We still get to have these chats. We still get to the FaceTime or Zoom call. And so anyway, so with the kids, I'm grateful to be able to operate this business with them. And that means that our schedules and our new normal is just that, the kids do the schoolwork, and Amanda and I are talking with kids in the background and new puppies and everything. And it's just been a really neat time to be able to, because now that I feel like I don't have to hustle and bustle, I'm ready to go. Like, Amanda, this idea. And Amanda's like, whoa, and that's something that's just so awesome, is that Amanda said to me at one point, she said, I need to figure out what our new normal and within my family is before I can continue to be successful in this business. And that really landed hard on me and in me, and I was like, right, and that's just why we work so well together. I respect so much the things that she says, and we just always end up being balanced. Yeah, it's great.
So because you guys closed your doors, you created a platform that we can all still connect and still get our workouts. And that's through a Facebook page, a Facebook group. Why don't you guys speak to it a little bit? And one interesting point is it's offered free to anyone. It's open to anyone who has Facebook, which a lot of places I've been learning aren't doing that. You have to pay, or you have to be part of a private group. So tell us what goes on in the page and why you choose to keep it open and free to everybody.
Well, we've always believed that fitness should not be just for people who can afford it. And that was something that we felt really strongly about when we opened the doors to Ir9n. And that came, it also came in hand with working with community partners and raising money for different local organizations. So we would offer $5 classes. We would offer things for people so that they could come in and do Pilates and stay healthy and have that connection. So that's been not something that we've had from the very beginning of our business. So the idea was to still to offer those things. And, it's hard when you look at the long run because we do have families to support. But our first instinct was, again, just going right for the community and how can we help? How can we get people through these times and connect them? We have some really exciting things going on that we're going to be building our business virtually happening very soon. So we're very excited about that. But we're still keeping that Facebook group going for everybody strong as ever. And we are inviting other people to come in and post as well. Some instructors that aren't with us physically, but now virtually they are, which is just going to reach more people and connect more of our community together to just everyone to stay nice, strong, healthy.
Yeah, Mr. Rogers said, like, when there's a crisis or whatever, look for the helpers, right? Or look to the helpers. And Sharice, I think we've learned a lot from you in terms of being a helper and being a safe place for people. And so just kind of to piggyback on what Amanda is saying is we wanted to be the secure spot for people when it seems like people's worlds are falling apart, whether it's financially or socially or their workouts or whatever it is that they consider to be pivotal in their health journey. And so we wanted to be those helpers. We wanted to be the safe place, the respite, that people could feel like they could start structuring their new normal without missing out.
I love it. I love it. So Steve and I were talking last night, and one of the things we were talking about is this is a great opportunity for people who may not have exercise in their regular routine to start it. A, because they have more time. B, because we have all this extra stress and we got to get it out somehow. And most importantly is because it seems like this virus is attacking unhealthy people, unfortunately, people who might smoke or may be overweight. So this might be a kick in the butt to a lot of us, like, oh, we gotta take our health more seriously. I'm wondering what your opinions are on that, and what like, how do you get someone who's never worked out not to be intimidated to join or to try a class?
Well, we have a slogan that is, don't be them, you be you, which means come as you are. It doesn't matter what your level is. It doesn't matter anything. And the best thing about Pilates is you need space. You don't even really need a mat. You need nothing but your own body, and you don't ever graduate out of it. So an elite athlete can take it and get an amazing benefit as someone who has never done anything before. We at one point had worked with cancer survivors and still do. We partnered with Roswell, but I've done Pilates in chairs before, where they don't even have access to getting on the floor. It's everything in Pilates makes everyday life easier. Whether it's getting into the car, getting out of bed, tying your shoes, or running a marathon. It's really incredible. Some of the best compliments I've ever gotten is, I can walk up the stairs carrying my laundry basket, or I can now tie my shoes without it being painful. Like that to me, and we work with people on all levels and all abilities, but that to me, I'm like, wow, this is actually changing people's lives. So, for people that want to get healthy, I think it's a great way to start. We label all of our classes level 1 or 2 or 2 to 3 for that purpose. And you just listen to your body. You do what you can do, and the more you can connect your mind and body together, the more you'll benefit from it.
And what better way, in the comfort of your own home, when we're not actually watching you, although we should be. Like, I know many people and people in my own family who a studio or working out together can be a very intimidating environment. And so again, this is just another way that that Facebook group that we just talked about is a great way to kind of start their journey and learn and move, and also, like, with just like what you said, Sharice, smoking. Like Joseph Pilates, he was very adamant about how breath gives life, and so many people are not mastering the art of breathing correctly. And so when we can strengthen our lungs and strengthen our body and really just strengthen from the inside out, this is an amazing way to get healthy in a lot of different ways.
So you spoke to people who maybe never had a workout, and I want you guys to name your Pilates group on Facebook. So I want to make sure I get it correct. So please tell us all what the name is so anyone can join. But you spoke to people who maybe never worked out. What about those who are the extreme athletes who do a CrossFit or super, heavy weights and are like, well, I'm not going to do Pilates because Pilates is easy. I don't even sweat. How do you talk to them?
Oh my goodness. Well, so I love this question because we know a million people who are marathons and CrossFitters and just different athletes. And first of all, anybody could Google search anything. I think it was Rocky who said Pilates is by far the hardest workout he's ever done. Google it. And when we talk about, Amanda and I love fitness. We love every little last bit of fitness. There's nothing that you can't find us doing, maybe with the exception of Zumba, but we just love moving. Like that's our love language, and that's what brought us together in the first place. And so we are very aware and in tune to the fact that there's a lot of different ways to be fit and levels of fitness. And so when you think of a runner, for example, they use a lot of their lower half. And typically people think of the bigger muscle groups or whatever. And we talk about how strengthening stabilizers and the smaller muscles can really support that game. And even like upper body work for a long distance runner can be so important to keep you upright and really let your legs, to allow your legs to do the work, because the rest of you from your core all the way through is stronger. And same thing with CrossFitters, bigger muscle groups are essential to be working always. And in Pilates, a lot of times we focus on the smaller muscle groups. And so it just rounds out workouts more. And that doesn't mean that it's any less challenging. It's a different sort of challenge.
And remind us, what's the name of your Facebook group where people can join?
It is Ir9n Pilates, period, sweat, period, sweat, burn, period, resist, period.
Great. So you changed platforms a little bit to recording videos. Are there disadvantages of doing this or advantages of doing the videos and posting rather than having, your regular classroom filled with everybody?
Absolutely, because no one's going to tell me how many more counts we have to go. That's a real challenge. We're very in tune to people's energy. So it is challenging, not to have that feel around you and be able to connect with those people and able to say, hey Susan, do this, do that, lengthen your spine. So we're giving out cues as if we had a class in front of us. And the Zoom is great for that too, because now we have the ability to see people. But when we're doing videos ourselves, at first you feel a little silly because you're encouraging everybody, okay guys, come on. And I've got my 2 dogs and my cat watching me. And sometimes they join in. So that's always fun. But yeah, it is a different beast. But I just feel like the more we do it, the better we get at it. And people love it. People are really loving it. So that keeps us going. That motivates us the most when, we get comments from now all over the world of, hey, thank you so much. Well, gosh, that makes me want to do 2 more.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to add anything, Kiera, or was that pretty good?
Yeah, that was good. Just what Amanda said, the energy and not being able to have our hands on people and really kind of watch people, because we've noticed on our Zoom call last week, a lot of people this is new to everyone, and a lot of people turned off their videos, and we can encourage them to have them on, but we also want to respect people's comfort. And so it is challenging because we are so used to giving that personalized feel in a group setting.
I have Amanda and Kiera on from Ir9n Fitness. Just a couple more questions. What tips or advice do you have for those who are just kind of in the slump and, need that extra motivation to, all right, I got to get back to my exercise routine?
For me,
Motto that, go ahead, Amanda.
For me, I'm just gonna say that, make a calendar for yourself. Put it on there. Make it a priority, because if you're like, okay, I'm gonna do this, this, and this, and I'm hoping to work out, it's not gonna happen. It really, everything, there's always something you can be doing, but what is important? If you don't take care of yourself, then you're not gonna be able to take care of other people in the same capacity. So you really do have to schedule that time. Whether you're a morning person, you're at night, just make it. And the nice thing about these videos is you can do them anytime. So really, my personal model has always been, there's always options, no excuses. So you take that video, you can do it early in the morning, you can do it late at night, and just making the time, maybe encouraging someone to do it with you. Find a buddy, reach out to somebody and say, you know what, I want to do this video, will you do it with me? And you can text each other afterwards. I thought this was great, I thought that was hard, I'll never do that again, but I'm going to try a different one, or that was my favorite one. What did you like?
I have two mottos, and one of them is, when in doubt, take action. And that can apply to any part of your life, and even the smallest little things. So for something like the Facebook group, what sort of action can people take who feel like they're in a slump? They can post, they can comment. It is a community that is just buzzing right now with so much engagement. They can try a video. But we are responsible for taking ourselves out of doubt, out of those slumps. And it can be the smallest action that can do that. And again, that's why we've built this community of support, because we want to make it easy and accessible for people to be able to pull themselves out of their slumps or doubts or fears or anxieties. And then the other motto that I live by, that is from my mother, is little triumphs. We don't have to do big things to make a big difference. Personally, you do one very small thing and accomplish it and achieve, whether that's like do the dishes today or make your bed. And it's just always clear that it's a domino effect for the rest of your day, the rest of your week, month, this time that is so scary, and then the rest of your life. So take small action when you're in doubt and when you're feeling like it's all too much.
All right, one final question for you guys. Steve and I were also talking about this. Where do you see the industry, the gym, exercise, workout industry going after this whole thing has cleared up? Do you think people are going to be nervous to go to gyms, nervous about spreading germs? What are your thoughts?
Kiera and I have talked about this a lot, and I do think that there is not only going to be this huge physical burden on the world, but I think that there's going to be a huge mental burden as well. And I think a lot of people are going to struggle with that and finding the new normal, which, going back to what we said before, why this is in many ways a blessing to us, is that we're also learning how to adapt, how to reach people that we haven't reached before. So I don't think it's going to be a light switch. I don't think, especially these big box gyms that are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars in rents and rentals, are going to be able just to come back in the same capacity. I think people are going to be exploring more online platforms. And I think, when everything comes out of it, it will be a slow trickle back in. But I do think it'll rebuild. I think that people are going to start taking their fitness a little bit more seriously. We are responsible for our health. We have one body. That's the only place we have to live in. So truly, this may sink home for a lot of people. So I think we'll see a trickle coming back in. But I also feel very strongly that we're going to see a surge in Pilates at this time too, because people are at home without any equipment. And now they may have these exposures that they didn't have before. And they might find a lot of solace in it. They might find a little bit, just a different way of working out, and they might find more strength that they've never felt before. You do Pilates for 4 weeks and you go for a run, you're gonna fly. You're gonna feel like you're 10 pounds lighter. So I do think, it will come back, but in a different way.
I absolutely agree. And for a long time, even before we started our business, I've said that there are very few businesses in this day and age that actually require a brick and mortar. And then, of course, this was last year. And then I said, but of course, like, we're one of them. We require a brick and mortar. And so now watching these things change so rapidly and understanding that we only thought we needed a brick and mortar because that was the normal, that was the standard. And so we're raising the bar up for the standard and accessing more people. And it is going to change, this is going to be very taxing on people's psyche. Coming out of this, I think people are going to struggle to know what's the right thing to do moving forward. And a lot of people are going to be operating out of fear. And so again, like, being able to serve people in a lot of different ways once this is all through, by continuing an online platform, by continuing to give a lot of good content and value that people can access for free and low cost, but also for those people who are feeling a little more I guess resilient or confident in the way of moving forward. We're going to continue to offer the classes and the online. So it is really going to change the entire industry. And we are equipped for it. And I think that, the community that we are building is also equipped for it.
That's awesome. One more time, can you tell us the name of the Facebook group where people can find you? You post videos daily for all different levels. So if someone's looking for just an extra community, a word of encouragement, you can do this, let's try this, where can they find you?
Sure. It's Ir9n. So that's spelled out IRON, and then the number 9, period. Pilates, period. Sweat, period. Burn, period. Resist. But if you search in your groups and you just type in Ir9, it should pop right up.
And go ahead.
Sorry, there's also a link right on our website. So ir9pilates.com, spelled out just like Kiera said it. There's a simple link right on there. You can click and it'll connect you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Amanda and Kiera. Thanks for your time today. Thank you for all the videos. Thank you for keeping us sane with these workouts.
Thank you, Sharice. This was our pleasure and just something really exciting to reconnect.
Yes. Thank you so much.
You can watch all of our podcasts by visiting our website, shovelthesidewalk.com, or listen to any of them on your podcast platform of choice. If you know someone or you yourself has a story to tell, these are challenging times, whether it's a word of inspiration or just a neat story that's going to uplift us, please reach out to us. You can go to our website, shovelthesidewalk.com, fill out a simple form, and we'll take care of the rest. We'll set up the meeting and make sure that your story gets out. I'm Sharice from Shovel the Sidewalk Talk, and this has been Sidewalk Talk.